The western Chicago suburbs, home to top places to live like Naperville, Downers Grove, and Wheaton, who pretty much get all the attention in this area. But sitting right in the middle of those communities is Lisle, Illinois, which, depending on your budget, your commute, and your lifestyle, could provide an overall better combination of location, housing options, and convenience. Let's go take a closer look. What's happening, everyone? If you don't know already, I'm Austin Weiss. I'm a local real estate agent who makes video content all about what it's like to work, eat, live, and play right here in the Chicago area. I've helped dozens of families relocate here who have reached out to me from watching my videos. So don't be shy, feel free to say hi, and I'd love to connect to see how I can help with your real estate plan too. In today's video, I'm breaking everything down about living in Lisle, Illinois and what it's actually like, from the location, the transportation, the parks, the schools, the housing market, and the everyday lifestyle. I'll also cover some of the drawbacks about Lisle and whether it's worth a closer look. And by the end of this video, you'll have the perfect understanding of whether Lisle is the overlooked alternative you've been searching for in the Chicago suburbs. To be clear, Lisle's not going to give you that large downtown, and it's not necessarily going to have the name recognition as some of the neighboring suburbs. But what it will have is an excellent location, and it's literally surrounded by some of the top suburbs to live in all of Chicagoland. So you'll have access to pretty much all the same amenities, and in some neighborhoods, access to the exact same schools, including Kennedy Junior High, my alma mater. I went here 6th grade through 8th grade. It sits right here in Lisle. And the best part about this neighborhood is you won't have to pay the high housing premium as some of the surrounding suburbs. To further my point, I'm currently walking through the Knolls of Huntington. I grew up just across Naperville from here, and I'm pretty certain this is the very first neighborhood I ever cold called when I first started in my real estate career. And I'm walking up this hill that is basically the boundary line between Lisle and Naperville. So I'm walking into green trails of Lisle, and I'm just showing you this to provide perspective of just how interconnected these two towns are, how close the neighborhoods are. We're literally in the back of Kennedy Junior High, so these are the athletic fields directly behind me. And the homes here basically share the same amenities, the parks, the schools, and this location in Lisle really is fantastic because you have great access to downtown Naperville, and you're actually closer to the highway entrances and the Metra train when compared to neighborhoods and homes in South Naperville. So from that perspective, it's an excellent location. Being in a central location, Lisle residents are close to pretty much everything: restaurants, shopping, and entertainment throughout the north side of Naperville. And on the east side, Downers Grove is right there, along with the business and shopping district in Oak Brook and the business corridor surrounding the I-88 highway. So even though Lisle itself is a smaller community of about 24,000, it's surrounded by some of the largest employment, shopping, and entertainment destinations in all of DuPage County. You may not have every restaurant or store within Lisle's borders, but you usually won't have to travel very far for access being just a few minutes from pretty much everything. Moving about 8 million passengers each and every year, the BNSF Railway runs right through Lisle into downtown Chicago's Union Station. It's the same train line as Naperville and Downers Grove, so you'll have access to those express trains getting out to Chicago and back out to Lisle in about 35 minutes, which is very convenient in those early morning rush hour and late afternoon rush hour times. In the northeast corner of Lisle is the I-88 and I-355 interchange, offering great commuter access to Chicago and all of the Chicago suburbs to business districts in places like Oak Brook, Downers Grove, Schaumburg, or the southwest suburbs. Now, if you live close to downtown, the Metra train could be a major part of your daily routine, but not every Lisle neighborhood is equally convenient to the train. So don't assume that just having a Lisle address automatically means you can walk to the station. However, there is plenty of parking at the Lisle commuter lot, and a PACE bus system is used to ease traffic flow throughout town. If the train or highway access is important to your lifestyle, Lisle works well for people who want and need access to several different suburbs instead of building their entire lifestyle around one neighborhood and downtown environment. And speaking of neighborhoods and environment, let's dive into the Lisle housing market because this is where Lisle gets really interesting. From a real estate math standpoint, Lisle is a really solid option, and the village offers a much wider range of housing options than people initially expect. East of Route 53, you'll find older and more modest single-family homes with a sprinkle of new builds throughout the downtown area, and west of Route 53, you'll find established subdivisions with mature trees and larger homes, especially in the Oak Hill area, behind Bennett Academy, and opportunities to build in the Northwest Corridor, which happens to be zoned for Naperville School District 203, with both areas offering a more traditional suburban subdivision feel with winding streets, walking paths, parks, and a variety of home styles. There are also townhomes and condominiums and pockets of newer upscale construction, such as River's Edge along 53, right next to the Seven Bridges Shopping and Entertainment District. Now, back in the 1980s, my parents met at Four Lakes Village, and to this day, it's quite the hub for affordability and social activities, including the ski hill during the winter months, and in summer, the fishing here is fantastic. The pools are busy, along with the pub, and there always seems to be an intense beach volleyball game happening under the lights. Downtown Lisle is currently experiencing a major overhaul with the Family Square redevelopment, which has been an eyesore for a while now and should have been developed, in my opinion, years ago. Right next door to that is the new townhouse development of Arbor Station coming later this year. And if you want more insight on these projects, I did an entire video on my other YouTube channel that you can watch right here. Now, other sections of Lisle feel less planned and more eclectic with older homes, larger lots, and a greater variation from one street to another. So there are opportunities to raise a home, build new, especially in the outlying downtown area. Let's talk numbers. The median home price throughout the village for a single-family detached home is about $620,000, up nearly 15% year over year. And homes go quick, with the median days on market just 7 days. But attached homes tell a different story, with a 9% year-over-year gain and a median sale price of just $235,000 for a townhome or condo, making this area incredibly attractive and affordable. The important thing to note, though, is that Lisle isn't one uniform housing market. A commuter who needs a home near downtown Lisle has a completely different appeal than a larger home in Green Trails or another established subdivision like the Meadows. Updated homes, especially those in desirable neighborhoods or school boundaries, can still attract a 7-figure price tag. I recently helped a couple of families relocate to Green Trails who were just done with the Chicago city life. And what they were mainly looking for was that neighborhood setting, along with a combination of 9 lakes, 17 parks, interconnected by 25 miles of trails, like you can see directly behind me. Oh, and Green Trails is zoned for Naperville School District 203, so you get the award-winning school district, and you attend my alma mater, Naperville North High School, which isn't a bad school to attend. And actually, I'm walking in the back of one of the houses I sold to one of those couples, and they back directly to the pond. So if you want something similar, want to work with someone who actually knows the area because they're from here and can help you understand this low inventory real estate market, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. The number on the screen is my direct line. I'll connect with you, help you understand what's going on with the market, and put together a plan that makes sense for yourself and your family. All right, so we covered the great location, the ease of getting around, and the Lisle real estate market. Let's talk about some of the amenities, starting with schools. The 27th best public school district in Illinois, Lisle School District 202, is small but mighty and is made up of the newly built Lisle Elementary School with its sleek design and character, Lisle Junior High School, and Lisle High School, home of the Lions, right in the heart of town next to the Lisle Community Park. I battled in many youth basketball games in this gym growing up. Now, I already mentioned there are several Lisle neighborhoods zoned for Naperville School District 203, so if you want to know more information about that district, watch this video right here. And the new River's Edge neighborhood off of 53, along with sporadic streets, are zoned for Downers Grove North High School and the Woodridge Grade School District. But if you're more of a private school family, St. Joan of Arc Church has a preschool through 8th grade located just outside of downtown Lisle, and quite a few families I knew growing up attended Bennett Academy, located right off of Maple and College Road. I will say this, if you want to live in Lisle and need a specific elementary school, make sure the home you're interested in is zoned accordingly. For example, Green Trails alone has 3 different elementary schools, and the Beaubien neighborhood on the far north side near the highway is split between districts and is zoned for 2 different sets of schools, K through 12. This gives people some interesting options, but it can also create some confusion. 2 homes within the same Lisle mailing address may not attend the same school district, and within Naperville District 203, the assigned elementary, junior high, and high school can still vary based on the property, so double check before purchasing a house. Here's some perspective on how to choose a school district. I think if you value a smaller district with less than 500 students at the high school level, your child grows up with the same kids in his class, builds those lifelong relationships, maybe they receive more attention in the classroom and more opportunities in extracurriculars, then Lisle is the obvious choice. But if you're looking for a top school district for a city in America that competes in all the largest competition classes in the state, has an abundance of resources, then you may be better off with Naperville Schools. Now, one of the best parts about Lisle is it has its own downtown with great spots and annual events. You can still access the local businesses and train station, but it's also in between downtown Naperville and downtown Downers Grove, which are a short drive in either direction. Not to mention, Oak Brook Entertainment District isn't far away either. So if you want a busier atmosphere, it's all right there. And Lisle's the kind of town that appeals to people who want a more chill vibe and a small town feel. For some people, that'll be a drawback, and for others, the smaller, quieter environment is preferred. From personal experience, I know with a fussy toddler in the car, I'd rather park and go to dinner rather than circle the block several times, like in some of the busier neighboring towns. And to sum it up, the Lisle lifestyle is less about having everything concentrated in one central destination and more about being conveniently positioned near several different destinations. Fun fact, Lisle is known as the Arboretum Village because it's home to the Morton Arboretum. It's a 1,700-acre tree museum, public garden, and play space. My wife and I have been members for years. We love doing our nature walks and just exploring. I also get a lot of my triathlon training done here because of the hilly terrain for biking and limited traffic. And now that I'm a dad, we also love to explore the children's garden. It hosts seasonal events, educational programs, and activities throughout the year. If you happen to become a client of mine, my office hosts a winter illumination event that dazzles the eyes but freezes the toes because it's held during winter. Lisle performs especially well when it comes to parks and outdoor recreation. The Lisle Park District maintains more than 400 acres of land across dozens of parks and recreation facilities. The Lisle Community Park is one of the main attractions, including walking paths, sports fields, a playground, and access to peaceful fishing ponds. Catch a live performance in the summertime at Band Camp and Stage, and cool off at Sea Lion Aquatic Park, offering a water slide, a vortex pool, and a splash playground. Riverbend Golf Club is the perfect 9-hole getaway with leagues, tournaments, and the perfect place to replenish your golf ball supply when they do a controlled burn in the fall. And although it's maintained by the Wheaton Park District, Sensory Garden Playground is technically in Lisle and is one of the best spots to bring the little ones. Numerous climbing features, slides, and sensory elements really make this place a must visit. If you're looking to get some time in on the ski slopes, check out Four Lakes Alpine Snow Sports. It's been operating for over 60 seasons and offers both day and nighttime skiing. Now, it's not a mountain by any means, but it beats sitting around inside all winter and is the perfect place for the kiddos to learn to ski. Just like any town, Lisle isn't the right fit for everyone, and there are some drawbacks. The downtown is much smaller than downtown areas like Naperville, Downers Grove, Wheaton, or Glen Ellen. However, it has vastly improved and is quite charming. When I was out filming, there was plenty of people enjoying lunch outside, walking around, and I enjoyed meeting and talking with the local shop owners who all pretty much said, downtown Lisle is made up of small, locally owned businesses, and it's a close community where people actually know each other. The second consideration is that Lisle can feel somewhat fragmented. Different sections of the village have different school districts, housing styles, and neighborhood identities. A home near downtown Lisle can feel very different from a home in Green Trails or a property closer to the I-88 corridor. The variety provides more choices, but it also means you'll need to do your homework up front before deciding which neighborhood to live in. Now, traffic can also be an issue throughout town. I know there are usually backups along roads like Ogden Avenue, Route 53, and Maple Avenue, especially during rush hour times. And another major consideration is flooding and drainage. Lisle is part of the River Valley system, and its lowest point near the east branch of the DuPage River is zoned for a 1% chance every year on the flood map. So if you're looking into purchasing a new home at a low point, definitely investigate the property's flood zone status, drainage history, and insurance requirements before purchasing. You'll also want a thorough inspection and should ask whether the basement or property has experienced previous water intrusion. I'll put a link down in the description of the map provided by the Village of Lisle. So, who is Lisle right for? Lisle makes sense for people who value location and convenience. It's especially attractive if you need access to the interstate or metro train, and it can also work well if you want a variety of housing options, mature neighborhoods, and some of the best outdoor recreation in the western suburbs. And if you like Naperville but don't necessarily need to live within the boundaries, Lisle could give you access to many of the same surrounding amenities, and depending on your budget and priorities, it could be a trade-off worth making. Let me know down in the comments, is Lisle underrated, or would you still choose Naperville, Downers Grove, or another nearby suburb? And if you want help simplifying your next move to Lisle or anywhere else in the Chicago suburbs, you can reach me directly at the number on the screen. Send me an email or shoot me a DM on socials. I'm pretty much available anytime. I help people like you each and every week determine which communities, neighborhoods, and homes make the most sense for their lifestyle. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.